trophy hunt for a lot more frequent time than Leicester City are. Of course, based on this season, he'll probably stay at Leicester. But the other thing that is going to be a stumbling block, although Chelsea are notoriously good at doing this, is getting over the amount of money that they're going to have to pay for a left-back. Now, 85 million is the amount quoted. Personally, I think that's way too much for Chilwell. I'm not saying it's not worth it. He's really good, and he's definitely, as Frank Lampard has identified, a massive step up from the likes of Emerson and Marcus Alonso in the left-back area for Chelsea. He's also young, he's English, he definitely fits with the whole theme and the whole culture that Lampard is creating at Chelsea, and I think it'd be a great move. 85 million though? Kind of seems like a lot. Apparently Chelsea are waiting to see what the effects of the coronavirus pandemic are going to do to the transfer market. Although coming up in just a moment's time, I'll tell you why it's probably going to be absolutely nothing. Anyway, I can't see him paying that much money and I can't see Leicester letting him go, but who really knows what's going to happen? Chelsea have proved to be a powerful enemy in the transfer market. I mean, they already took N'Golo Kante and Danny Drinkwater off of Leicester, so maybe they'll take one of their stars again. But moving on from that and talking about ruining the transfer market, PSG have done it again. They've just completely blown everyone out the water with the signing of Mauro Icardi. Now, this is going to take a bit of explaining. Basically, in 12 days' time, Timo Werner's release clause expires with RB Leipzig, meaning that the £49 million that any club could walk into the club and pay straight up and then be able to talk to Timo Werner will no longer happen. So, obviously, the good news for Leipzig is that after this, they can charge more. And for the clubs that wanted to buy him, mainly Liverpool, who are really interested in him, well, they were hoping that once this expiry has happened, they'll be able to talk to Leipzig and maybe negotiate a lower price because, as you mentioned before, teams are being affected and may need a little bit more money than normal because of the COVID pandemic. Wrong. So what PSG went and did was sign Mauro Icardi for £50 million. So not only is he 3 years older, in my opinion, not as good as Timo Werner, but also doesn't have as much near potential as Timo Werner does. They've basically now set the bar at 50 million. There's no way that Leipzig would look at that transfer and be like, yeah, we'll sell our star striker Werner for less than 50. So even if the clause runs out, they're going to now want more. Obviously, that's going to annoy Liverpool. No one else really cares apart from Liverpool fans. But it's going to mean that Timo Werner has got to go for more than Icardi. That would just make sense. And if he goes for more, then someone else would be like, oh, well, if Werner's going for 50 to 60, my striker should go for 60 to 70. So basically, all the transfers are going up because PSG once again have bid and bought a player way out of his price range. Anyway, they obviously did it with Neymar, but we're going to overlook that. Anyway, I'm not so sure that it will extend to the whole transfer market. Like I mentioned before, there's no way that you could draw a comparison between like Werner and Ben Chilwell and say, yeah, he's worth 85 because Icardi was worth 50 and then Werner was worth 60. I'm not sure it's going to stretch around that kind of price. I mean, to that kind of position. But there are a few hot strikers that could be on the move, including Griezmann as well, Lautaro Martinez. So you never quite know how this is going to play out. All we know is thank you, PSG, for once again throwing some money in out where it really didn't need to be. Anyway, moving on to Manchester City, who bizarrely enough seem to be swapping the young for the old. Not quite the other way around. So first off, Barcelona are interested in re-signing Eric Garcia, the centre-back at Manchester City. But if they do let him go, regardless of whether they let him go or not, there's apparently some real determination from the club that they want to bring in Leonardo Bonucci at 33 years old from Juventus. Don't get me wrong, brilliant defender. Really good defender. Definitely has a lot of quality, a lot of experience, and is still performing at a pretty good level for Juventus. But moving into the future, is this going to help Manchester City? I mean, sure, Bonucci would be the best fit to play alongside Aymeric Laporte ahead of Garcia, ahead of Otamendi, John Stones, Fernandinho when he's pushed into centre-back. That's absolutely fine. But looking into the future, like, really? He's probably good for 1 or 2 seasons. And imagine if those 1 or 2 seasons City aren't in the Champions League. I mean, on top of this, I'm not sure Juventus are going to want to sell him. They already made that mistake of selling him to AC Milan a few years ago and then buying him back a year later on a much higher wage. So I can't really see this one happening. And if they do, it's not possibly the smartest move from Manchester City. I mean, what on earth are Barcelona offering for a young defender that's going to be so mind-blowing that Manchester City are desperate for that kind of money? I don't know. There's no way they're going to be making a bid of more than like 20 million for him. Surely not. And Bonucci's going to cost more than that anyway. For me, this rumour doesn't quite make sense, especially if they were to get rid of Garcia. If they were to keep him and be like, okay, you can play second fiddle to Bonucci and then he's going to slowly fade out the first team and Garcia comes through, fine. But swapping the two doesn't quite fit.